Good afternoon. There are many questions surrounding the province's new drinking and driving legislation. Many people want to know how it'll affect them and if they're still able to have a drink when they're out for supper. Lethbridge Regional Police teamed up with the city's media to answer some of those questions. Kayla Carr reports.
The concept was simple. Local media outlets were invited to bring their own liquor and drink at the police station. The idea was for everyone to get a better picture of how alcohol affects each person differently, and then share the message with our viewers.
They'll all be responsible for keeping track of how much you've had, and we will be breathalyzing you after each drink.
CTV's Alicia Fielberg and Dave Timo from CJOC were two of the participants. Alicia is 28 years old and 115 pounds. Dave is 42 and 230 pounds. Alicia drank hard liquor while Dave drank beer.
It's about our listeners. It's about the people that we share this city with, because if we learn something that we can pass off on to them and save a life, then we've all won.
After one drink, Alicia blew .021. Dave had two beers and surprisingly still blew .0. There was no reading. It took about 4 drinks for Alicia to reach .05. It took Dave 5.
I've had over 4 ounces of liquor in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and definitely can feel the alcohol.
If a person blows above .05 or if an officer suspects they're impaired, they'll immediately have their license suspended. If they blow above .1, they'll be brought back to the police station for a second test on this intoxilizer. According to statistics, about 22% of drivers involved in fatal collisions have consumed some alcohol. Police say it's okay to have one drink when you're out for dinner, but you need to pay attention to how the alcohol affects you.
We're not telling people that they cannot go out and enjoy themselves at functions or having a dinner. We just want people to become responsible, know what their limits are, know that they are going to be affected physically by the alcohol, and just be responsible for their actions.
2.5 hours in and the group is still drinking. Dave has reached 8 beers while Alicia has downed about 5 drinks. They both are taken to the intoxilizer where Alicia blows .082. Dave tops out at twice the legal limit, 1.7.
One is too many. That's it. Even after one, there's your judgment is impaired, whether you believe it or not.
All 3 women participating in the challenge blew over .05 after 4 drinks. While it took more drinks for the men, it was clear the alcohol affected everyone.
I'm chattier, my vision is impaired, I can tell that even my movement is impaired, so driving would definitely be impaired.
Police say they hope the new legislation will help create safer roads. Kayla Carr, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Thank you, Kayla and Alicia. The new legislation will allow officers to automatically suspend your license and seize your vehicle for 3 days if you blow over .05. Second and third time offenders will see stiffer penalties, and those who blow over .08 will have their license taken away until their criminal charges are resolved in court. Repeat offenders will also see stiffer penalties. The new legislation still needs royal assent. It's expected to come into effect the next few months. Well, another day of traffic chaos on Highway 1 between Revelstoke and Golden. It's believed that a head-on crash involving 3 vehicles shut down the Trans-Canada. It was closed early this afternoon. The highway is expected to be open within the hour. Meanwhile, the Kootenay Pass is supposed to be closed tomorrow morning for avalanche control work. Well, as we first told you earlier this week, the only survivor of a murder-suicide near Clara's home is continuing to make amazing progress in her recovery. Shayna Conway has spent the last 2 weeks at the Foothills Hospital in Calgary after being shot 3 times, and now she's taken her first steps. The 21-year-old is also out of the ICU. Residents of her native Prince Edward Island are busy organizing fundraisers like public skates and concerts to help cover her medical expenses and family's travel costs. On December 15th, Derek Jensen gunned down Tabitha Steppel, Mitch McLean, Tanner Craswell, and Shayna before turning the gun on himself. And Dory, some wind warnings in the Medicine Hat area today. Those are over, but any chance it'll be back tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly, Jackie. We did have those wind warnings. They are now primarily in southern Saskatchewan, wind warnings in the extreme southern edges of the province, and then some freezing rain warnings slightly north in the Regina area right now. It looks like the winds will be back with us again tomorrow. Might not quite reach warning criteria, but we'll have some wind tomorrow. It looks like Saturday is when we lose it.
Well, a Blood Tribe councillor has passed away. Dolores Day Chief died on Boxing Day after battling health problems. The 61-year-old was married and had 5 children and 12 grandchildren. Day Chief was the only woman on the Blood Tribe Council. She'd been a councillor for 11 years and also served as a tribal leader, advocating for tribal members. Day Chief served as a representative for the Kainai Chieftainship and was passionate about environmental protection and harmony in the workplace. No decision has been made on when or if the Blood Reserve will hold an election to replace Day Chief. A wake is set for Friday night. Her funeral service will be held 11 a.m. Saturday at the St. Mary's Church, that's 5 kilometers north of Cardston. Well, a Lethbridge retailer is upset that the fee for his 2012 business license is up more than 100%. Gerard Pletel recently got the $162 bill for his business license in the mail, and last year it was just $80. Council voted on the increase this fall after learning that license fees in other medium-sized Alberta cities average around $153. Pletel wants city aldermen to take another look at the fee hike. He says council made the decision quickly and at a busy time of year for most retailers, so they weren't able to respond.
Now, there's thousands and thousands of small business people around, and they're all going to be hit with this. And I'm sure they've all got their, little packet, their little lump of coal from the city. So it's very unfair to have been slipped in like that, without much notice.
Patel is urging other business owners to contact council to ask them to reconsider the increase or at least consider phasing it in slowly over a number of years. Well, it was developed in a kitchen and tested in a workout shed on a farm in southern Alberta, but a new sports recovery drink will soon be showing up in schools, gyms, and stores throughout Canada and the United States. The drink is called RE7, and it's already being used by pro athletes and actors and began showing up on store shelves in September. As Terry Vogt reports, this overnight success story really began about 15 years ago near Arcata Valley, a small community north of Medicine Hat.
I was always passionate about trying to live a healthy lifestyle.
Mike Stoltz has been working out and training for more than 25 years, but was often frustrated with the results.
So I started to work on a different recovery system, a natural recovery system.
Working in his kitchen, Stoltz began trying various combinations of vitamins and minerals until he came up with a formula he was happy with, one that he's now developed into a sports recovery drink called RE7. One of his partners and biggest boosters is his nephew Matthew Park, a pro bodybuilder and president of INBF Canada, an organization for natural athletes to compete in fair, drug-free competitions.
Mike's whole training program that he had, it was basically revolving around finding the best recovery system that he could, all natural and 100% drug-free.
And then we were getting great results, and we figured, well, if we're getting results like this, we need, why not get it to the rest of the public and see what kind of results they get, and then it's just kind of grown from there.
There are hundreds of sports and energy drinks on the market today, but unlike many of those drinks, RE7 has no caffeine, no artificial sweeteners or flavors. There are no chemicals or preservatives. Even so, it took more than a year to get Health Canada approval. Well, Mike and Matthew are from small-town Alberta. They're now in business with U.S. Sports, a company owned by an agent who represents many pro athletes, including some NFL players. He's opened the door in the eastern U.S. marketplace. The drink is now being used by pro athletes, fitness models, and celebrities. It's in some NHL locker rooms, fire halls, gyms, colleges, and high schools. By early 2012, it's expected to be on sale in a number of convenience and food stores. It's even being tried by the military.
We're excited about it because we really want to help, not just athletes and the average people, but also our hospitals, recovery in those areas.
I think we're past the point of the stress and stuff, and now it's just a matter of moving forward and educating people on why our product is so much different than everything else that's out there.
For these men from a small community in southeastern Alberta, years of hard work is finally turning into an overnight success story. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Currently, RE7 is sold online, and it's also available in stores in Quebec, certain parts of Alberta, and the eastern U.S. A number of large retailers are expected to begin selling the product early next year. If you're hoping the new year will bring prosperity, you may not want to look at your pay stub come January 1st. We are not facing a tax hike, but the Canadian Taxpayers Federation says Ottawa will collect an additional $306 from both employees and their employers next year. This means Canadians will have a lower take-home pay, premium hikes, unemployment insurance, and the Canadian pension plan are to blame. The biggest tax difference will be the corporate tax rate. And on the markets, the TSX had a triple-digit gain today after news from the U.S. that their jobless rate is at a 3.5-year low and that more Americans are buying homes.